home for a very special friends. They're on the top of the oceanic food chain, and they like to be called the kings of the ocean. Shark Stanley, the hammerhead, lived before it, and he had the strangest head that you've ever seen. His face took the shape of a capital T, and his big white set eyes allowed Stanley to see the whole wide ocean, so he could help keep his friends out of trouble. But trouble was usually to be found when Pierre the porpoise was swimming around. Pierre glided up to Shark Stanley, grinning, and said,
"Do you guys see that big jungle of seaweed? I can't wait to explore it. Who wants to come help?"
Mantarina cruised around the boys with enormous wings spread out.
Calm down now, Pierre, before you get yourself into trouble. By the way, where is Wacky? I haven't seen her in a while.
Just then the friends met with a pleasant surprise. Wacky the white-tip came swimming towards them.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Wacky loved traveling. She was always in motion, and she had crossed the whole ocean at least a dozen of times.
It's great to be home. The reef still looks fantastic, though it has been a while. Don't you think our home is super?
Yeah. Sure, but enough talking, guys. We haven't got all day. I see something shiny over there, and I really want to go find it.
No, don't touch that.
Stanley tried to warn his friend, but it was too late. Pierre, that poor shark, had a hook slip in a fisherman's bait.
I've got a hook where I live.
Suddenly, the hook started to rise.
Good Polly, we are.
Don't worry, we're gonna fight.
As the fisherman pulled the hook up, Rena used her wingtip to take the hook out from Pierre's lower leg.
Whew, I'm free. Thank you. I'm alive.
We did it. Looks like we survived.
The friends turned their head back to their nice lagoon. But just then, Wacky noticed that Shark Stanley wasn't around.
Hey, where did Stanley go?
The sharks turned their heads around just to find out that Stanley wasn't quite all right. When helping Rena to save Pierre, Stanley got caught in the fisherman's bait himself.
Hang in there, Stanley. We're going to save you.
What the sharks didn't know was that the hook was connected to a big human system that had long been perfected. For the huge fishing line was so terribly strong, thousands of hooks had been strong all along. Millions of miles of lines such as these were snatching up sharks in all the world's seas. The trio tried to fight, but they noticed that the fisherman was just too strong. All they could do was to see that their best friend was forced out of his home.
Oh no! We lost Stanley.
And it's all my fault.
You did a great job on catching that hammerhead. Where am I? This is a strange place to be, and it's so hard to breathe.
What Shark Stanley saw on the deck was a terrible sight. He noticed that he wasn't the only shark that had been in this boat.
What's that shark doing over there? And why is there a pile of fins over there as well?
Let me tell you what happens to the sharks once they're aboard. The fisherman takes out a long knife or a sharp sword and does something so awful, so gruesome, and so grim. He kneels over the shark, takes off every last fin, and a beautiful creature, the king of the ocean, has been killed just for fins. Now we know that shark finning is a terrible deed, but still the fisher doesn't seem to care. So he sells the shark fins and he makes a good dollar. Then the fins get dried and shipped out to countries all over the world and turned into soup. But here's the dirtiest secret. It doesn't even taste very good. People just eat it because they think that they should. So millions of sharks get the fin every year just to be turned into a food souvenir.
We have to do all we can to save Stanley.
You need a great job of catching that undead.
I know. My friends told me that people are willing to pay lots of money to get the fins of a hammerhead. So I'll make a good one on myself.
They're gonna take my fins? How will I be able to swim without them?
Just before the fishes get to Stanley, Wacky's friend with a great current hits the boat.
What's happening? Is that my friends trying to save me?
The current gets so strong that the boat suddenly turns over and Stanley is set free. Stanley was a lucky guy because his friends weren't far away.
Stanley, it's so good to have you back. We missed you so much.
Thanks for saving me. If it wasn't for you, my fins would be all gone.
What? Why did they take your fins?
I'll tell you everything on the way back to the reef.
A year has passed since that horrible day, and a lot had changed since then.
Have you seen all the humans swimming around here lately? It looks like they like us much better down here than up there with them.
Humans would bring scuba equipment and loads of cash, and they paid local people for the honor to dive. And so the fishermen understood that sharks are worth more alive. Now they stopped cutting fins to sharks and rays because we all win when we let them stay alive. Everything gets better when we take what we need and not an ounce more.
We're asking you please, help me and my friends keep patrolling the seas.